Russia-Ukraine war, who benefits from the war? On 24 February 2022, Russia invaded Ukraine as a result of political tensions and territorial disputes, and Russia's desire to maintain its influence and control of the region. 1 year later, the invasion became a more complex and multifaceted geopolitical issue. In this video, we will talk about the most plausible assumptions that led Putin to invade Ukraine and the benefits of the war. But before diving into the subject, remember to like this channel for surprising facts weekly. Putin's invasion was immoral but not irrational. Putin's decision to attack a neighbor and inflict terrible suffering on its citizens was deeply immoral. The citizens of Ukraine had freely chosen independence and their government. Regardless of his reading of history, Putin had no right to override that choice. His justification, freeing the country from neo-Nazis, was incredible. Because Putin's decision might have been rational does not mean it was moral. That said, here are 5 critical assumptions behind the Russian invasion. Number 1. President Zelensky. Zelensky was elected in 2019 as a protest against governing elites who were seen as corrupt and ineffective. However, the elected president had yet to gain political experience of any kind nor experience running a large organization. In this framework, Putin feared regime change and democratization in Ukraine set an example for Russian society and trembled Putin's consolidated authoritarianism. Number 2. NATO's eastward expansion may have burdened the relationship between Russia and the West, but mainly because for Russia, seeing former Soviet countries eagerly abandon it for the Euro-Atlantic integration hurt. However, Putin's actions over almost 2 decades reveal that his goals extend beyond imposing neutrality on Ukraine or even staving off further NATO expansion. Number 3. World power. Ukraine aside, Putin has broad contempt for the West and is determined to turn upside down the international order. Conceding the underlying principles of the international order under armed threat from an autocratic government carries profound long-term dangers for global democracy and post-World War II security. Rolling over now would only allow Putin to move on to more significant wants. Number 4. Control of resources. Putin's biggest reward over the Ukraine war: expanded control over some of the most mineral-rich lands in Europe. Ukraine harbors some of the world's largest reserves of titanium and iron ore, fields of untapped lithium, and massive deposits of coal. Collectively, they are worth tens of trillions of dollars. However, as the war perpetuates, the number of beneficiaries is increasing. Today, key countries are benefiting from the war. Number 1. The United States. No surprise here, look at history. Who benefited the most after World War II? A long war today leads to a renaissance of the American military industry. A long war and sanctions against Russia means an increase in the share of American energy on the European and world market. A long war is the final exhaustion of Russia and a way to reboot its political elites. Finally, a long war is a tool to eliminate an inconvenient European sub-subject. Ukraine here, after a long war, will be completely dependent on foreign aid and will be able to join the group of countries that are in the interests of the Anglo-Saxons in their region, such as Taiwan, South Korea, Israel, and Poland, to which Ukraine can be added in Europe. Moreover, Ukraine is also a promising European energy hub, a logistics hub that controls part of the European market, a participant in the World Food Security Project, and a center of military security in Europe with a robust military-industrial complex. Number 2. China. China is also strategically inclined and has implemented long projects for its own benefit. China did not help its failed ally Russia, but did not condemn the aggression and did not help Ukraine. China is lurking like a predator, waiting for its moment to take advantage. A weakened Russia will sooner or later crawl to China on its knees, and Russian natural resources, critical materials, energy, black earth, and military technologies will be in the hands of China. So China also needs Russia as a new military ally. Integrating the eastern part of Russia with China is a matter of time, and China is not hurrying. Number 3. Germany. Russia has always been a geopolitical and economic ally for them. It is a sales market, raw materials, and a partner in the rest of the world. Russia's invasion of Ukraine put the Germans in an awkward position. It seems that this contradicts European values. But what about money and world domination? In general, the Germans found their benefits here. They are already preparing their versions of the Marshall Plan, the implementation of which will allow them to fill the appetite of their German manufacturers. Plus, Europe needs 14 million migrant workers, who are critically necessary to maintain the economic growth of an aging Europe. And the long war in Ukraine is the more an ideal opportunity to fill this labor shortage appears. Therefore, we can continue the list of beneficiaries. Here is Turkey with its unique role as a negotiator and grain trader, and India, which buys Russian oil at a considerable discount. Iran, which received nuclear technology and modern aircraft. Venezuela, which was allowed to sell oil. The conflict in eastern Ukraine has resulted in thousands of deaths and the displacement of millions of people, and it continues to this day with periodic outbreaks of violence. The international community has called for an end to the conflict and a peaceful resolution to the crisis. However, as the war benefits certain economies, is the ending near? Let us know in the comments your thoughts, and thanks for watching.